And our final speaker is Tessa Williams.
Okay, so my speech does not have a title, but it does have a dedication, and I would like to dedicate this to all of my fellow life learners. I can remember getting tucked into my big girl bed at night, saying to my parents in a sweet little voice, "Tell me more of those feisty women's stories." Eyes wide with the enamored eagerness of a little girl with a dream in her head of joining the ranks of my ancestors, to venture down a path of self-discovery that would one day lead me to earn the title woman. I can remember lying awake at night years later, tossing and turning, propelled by the forces pushing and pulling me back and forth between believing the hype, the lie, disguised behind the guise of innate truth that my value was contingent on a superficial beauty or my ability to fake such, and a feeling in the core of my being, a core with roots reaching back to those feisty women, that there must be more to it than that. I can remember sneaking out of bed in the late summer night, searching the internet for something deeper than the superficial worlds I had seen on TV, something recognizable as human, something tangible, something that was bigger than all this. I can remember being told by my middle school advisor that in my searching, I was doing big work. The work that comes from questioning conventional wisdom, from pursuing the search for something to satisfy a ravenous appetite for something meaningful, substantial, real. Something that would fill you up to the point of being whole again, creating a place where you don't have to piece yourself out, presenting only parts of you to the world at a time while trying to hide the bits which you have been told weren't pretty enough, or cool enough, or good enough. When what they really meant was that they weren't palatable enough. A palatability that was based on the lies they had been told. Lies we then forgot we told to ourselves. It was during this time in my life that I discovered the power of community, the profound paradigm shift that comes from realizing that we all have something to contribute, that we all play a role in making this world what it is, and that we are therefore all critical components of something that we create and which in turn creates us. We all come from different places, different histories, communities, and locations. But we stand before you today, bound together by our insatiable hunger for something greater. We are connected by a true understanding of what Ms. Maya Angelou meant when she said, "I know why the caged bird sings." And we are entwined by our willingness to do that big work. We are confederated together in the community that we have created. None of our experiences would have been the same if a single one of us had been missing. I have learned so much from you all. I have been deeply moved by your courage to stand up and express your convictions, so moved that it has on many occasions manifested itself in an act of uncontainable self-expression as goosebumps on my skin. We are drawn together by the sharing of common experience, by the late-night study sessions, by vagina monologues, by screenings of films such as Misrepresentation. We are connected by the countless invaluable discussions, by the sharing of TED Talks, the retelling of individual moments of personal growth, by our learning to confront injustice like a boss, and by aha moments which acted like a contagion, spreading its spots to our minds, forever imprinting on our understandings of ourselves. We have shared in moments of rage and frustration, of awkward silences and despair, in moments of unwavering solidarity, of enlightenment and deep confusion. We have been there for it all. And it is this that I find to be most profound. In the face of all of the injustices, torments, acts of terror, and judgments, you have not receded. We have not given up. We have never thrown in the towel. Even when it seemed that the problems were insurmountable, we still showed up to class, looking to arm ourselves with the knowledge and strength that comes from opening your arms, from letting others in, from recognizing that difference is what makes us, not what breaks us. In the face of all that is wrong in the world, you had the strength to see through the facade of black and white, of a presentation that things are perfect. That is until you read the caveat stating, if you play by the rules. You dare to dive into the murky waters of the gray area, knowing full well that what you will find will not always be pretty or neat, but it will be real. And that dealing with the real is more productive, more enlightening, more challenging to our ever-growing analytical minds than remaining on the surface could ever hope to be. And that courage, that gumption, that gall, not only to jump in but to stay in, is nothing short of incredible. E.E. Cummings once said, "To be nobody but yourself in a world which is doing its best night and day to make you somebody else means to fight the hardest battle which any human being can fight." Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to some of the fiercest warriors to ever walk across this campus. Society may try to tell us that these diplomas are what qualifies us, what gives us a value in the real world. But as women and gender studies students, not only do we know better than to believe this, but we can analyze our way up, down, around, and through the complex constructions that actualize this notion. In our education here, we have gained a deep understanding that we are greater than a tick in a box or a series of numbers with a pipe dream of identifying who we are. We know that our value extends beyond grades on an exam, that the culmination of the heartfelt words we wrote in countless papers or spoke in classes are so much more representative of who we are and, more importantly, who we are becoming. We know that these are the moments we will look back on one day and say, I can remember. We know that this multiplicity of experiences have allowed us to pull out and assemble the pieces that fit into our whole selves. They have become a part of us and will be with us no matter what path we walk after we walk across this stage today. You all give me hope. I feel better about being alive on this earth knowing that you are here standing next to me. In the face of all that is against us, you have not backed down as the incredibly powerful agents of change that you are. In spite of all the hatred, injustice, and corruption in the world, you are all here because you can envision something better. This is why women and gender studies, and this is why I believe with every fiber of my being that together, one day, we will do something so magnificent, the entire universe will get goosebumps.